Hello guys, Game Pizza Boy here, host of the Pizza Party. Hope you're all doing great. In today's video, I am back for another awesome DBD related video on the PTB now for the Alien chapter. PTB is now finally here and out for all your fun needs right here, as Alien is coming up very soon, and obviously to get hyped for it, the public test build is now here for all you PC players out there who want to go and test it out. So if you want to go just try it out for yourself, I would recommend you guys get over there now and go and see the Xenomorph, Ripley, the Nostronomo crash landing map, everything like that. I'm pretty excited about this because I got a chance to play it just today during the stream, and boy, it was fun as hell. I had a great time with it, and I cannot wait to see this come out very soon so I can buy this chapter and enjoy Alien, because I love the movie a lot. Really awesome. But today's video, I want to kind of go over, obviously, the more bigger stuff right here and kind of give my thoughts on them based on my experiences on today's stream about it, and just tell you guys my thoughts on it completely. Just have a good time about it. I'm just super excited to give you guys some of the big news right here, so let's get right into it. Before we begin, however, if you do enjoy this video, please like the video if you enjoyed, and comment down below. Tell me your thoughts on this PTB. Let me know your thoughts about the Xenomorph, Ellen Ripley, the new map, everything like that, their perks, power, all that shabam. Just let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear it for sure in the comment section below. And if you want to help support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it indeed. Very much. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, before we begin, there are tons of other related stuff that it can be mentioned during the PTB for its patch notes, although I won't go through everything completely, as there are a couple related, bigger, other smaller related stuff that I will not go over, obviously, because it's no big deal at least to talk about very much. I'm only going to go over quickly, it's just the more serious stuff, which includes obviously the new map, which is the Nostronomo wreckage map, Ellen Ripley and her perks, and also the Xenomorph and its power and perks, and just kind of get my thoughts on each and every one of them. So if you would like to read the full patch notes, I will leave it in the description below for all your fun needs right there you can enjoy. But let's go and get right into it, and let's begin talking about the PTB for the upcoming Alien chapter 29. Let's do it. Now, the first I want to talk about is, of course, the new map, the Nostromo wreckage. Explore the mysterious crash site of the iconic Nostromo. Visit landmarks familiar to the fans of the Alien franchise in a unique setting where you'll find yourself chased in and out of the ship. Run the killer around the shuttle that brought Ripley to the world of the entity. Navigate through the alien landscape, and you may yet escape from the remains of the wrecks. This map, I will say, hands down, is honestly one of my favorite maps so far. And I've been waiting to have a good space theme map, and even though I enjoyed the recent Toba landing one that we did during the Singularity chapter, this one to me is honestly amazing. I love the design of it, of its really core related dark grayish kind of planet design, the mist on the ground, the very much just rocky area of the location where it's obviously, but the most important part is the combination of that and obviously the wreckage of the Nostromo space shuttle around, and you can explore everything, including the main building, which is basically the Nostromo itself, with even the cool table in the middle that we see obviously, and it's just amazing how it looks. There are tons of fun little Easter eggs to find around there, so definitely explore it. You'll find a lot about it very much, and they did a great job with it, the design of it. I mean, not just from the reference of Alien, but just the space theme in general I like about it, and it really keeps it just a love for it indeed. So I really love just the overall design of the location, and the layout just looks beautiful. So definitely some good ideas right there. Definitely a good map so far. I'm very proud about everything that's happened with this map, and I'll say that you should definitely give this one a try on the PTB before it comes out, because who knows what will be changed, if anything needs to be improved upon. But I think it's a pretty cool map so far. It's pretty good. Alright, so that's it for the map right there. Now let's get into the main attractions themselves. Ellen Ripley, the new survivor, and the new killer, the Xenomorph. I'll first start off, of course, is obviously Ellen Ripley, because I want to start with the new survivor, because Ellen, I'm a big fan of. I love Ripley so much. And she's got her own 3 perks, like usual, like any new survivor right there. So let's go over them real quick. The first perk we'll talk about is Light-Footed. This perk makes it where anytime at all, if you are healthy, the perk activates. Anytime you start running footsteps, you actually are silent. So basically, you're completely silent as a whole. Your footsteps are super silent. You will not hear anything come out of your running footsteps at all. Then the perk will go and cool down for about 24 at the final tier of 20 seconds after you do a rush action. So when you're vaulting or rushing from a locker, stuff like that, it will get rid of as a whole. this perk, I'd say it's a pretty cool idea for a stealth perk right there, as obviously the fact that you basically are very silent for this reason, and it could really come in handy. I can imagine combine this with other related good stealth perks. You could basically hopefully get around very easily, and you will not make any noise whatsoever if a killer comes by. So this is really good, I would say, to kind of keep it out very well. Now, it won't completely keep you completely, obviously, quiet, because again, if you do a rush action, your footsteps will go back to being loud, of course, if you start running, but it's only for 20 seconds, so eventually it will go away, and it will come back and act for the perk, and you can then use that to keep yourself silent. Another thing also to be worried about, don't think about just running around all the time, though, because again, you are still leaving scratch marks, of course. So if you leave scratch marks and the killer sees that, they might know where you are, so be careful with that. But I think so far with this perk, I think it's not bad. I think there's going to be some good ideas being used as a stealth perk very much. So I definitely give this light-footed perk a try. Chemical Trap is next, and basically what this perk does is that you need to reach about 60 to the final tier of 50% progress on any generator. Once you do it, the perk activates. Whenever this perk activates, if you stand near a drop pallet, you can then press the activate button to then install a trap, which will stay on for about 100, 110 to at the final tier of 120 seconds. When this happens, the aura of the trap pallet will be revealed in yellow to every survivor to let them know about that pallet. And when the killer performs the break action on the pallet, the trap will explode, and then the kill will be slowed down by 50% for 4 seconds. So basically, this will make it where anytime at all, if you set this trap and you place it, you are basically going to literally trap them like that and slow them down for 4 seconds, 50%, making it easier for you to just get away from them very easily and kind of keep them off the trail, deal with other kill survivors completely. I've seen this perk in action, and I think it's not bad. I think it's pretty cool, to say the least, right there. I can imagine literally using this to slow them down and just take them out very easily. It's going to keep them occupied for a time being, and it only is 4 seconds, so it's a good thing that it is what it is right there for just 4 seconds, because I can imagine how pretty annoying that would be if you literally had that much longer and this killer had to deal with that 50% slow movement speed. That would be very insane right there. And finally, Lucky Star, which is whenever you hide in a locker, the perk will activate. You will leave no pools of blood, make no grunts of pain for 10 seconds. After that, once you exit the locker, you see all other survivors and the closest generator's aura in yellow for 10 seconds. Then this perk then goes on cooldown for 40, 35 to the final tier of 30 seconds. So this perk makes it where it kind of acts like similar to that of like a quick and quiet as a whole, but it does not prevent the loud noises of like obviously whenever you do a rush action. Instead, this prevents the noise of pools of blood and grunts of pain, so that you can basically hide very easily, but it only lasts for 10 seconds, so you can't expect to stay in there for too long, because once the 10 seconds are up, the perk deactivates, and eventually you'll just go right back to normal with your bleeding and obviously grunts of pain. So you gotta be very careful when using that, of course. However, though, it's a really good perk, I would say. I definitely have used it, and it's pretty cool. It really helped out kind of get an idea where everyone is, and just to know where the gen is if I need to. And not only that, though, it lets you just get this back within 30 seconds at the max. So it's not a very long cooldown. You'll just, after 3 seconds, it will come back, and you can use it again. It's honestly a really good perk. I really like it. And I think this will add very well with perks like Quick and Quiet and maybe Head On and Deception. Those perks right there that involve a lot of the lockers, because I can imagine you doing some pretty good stuff right there with that to trick up the killer, and even also use that to do some pretty good shit out of that too as well. So I think it's a really good perk to try out. I definitely think it's worth to kind of give it a go. So definitely give it a try. Lucky Star, I'd say it's pretty lucky, I would say, to say the least. It's pretty cool. I do like it. Now on to, of course, the Xenomorph, the main one right there. The Xenomorph is probably the most exciting one I'm ready for to talk about, because he has a pretty insane power after testing out for a few custom games today, and I really had a great time with this guy. So this is the killer's power right here, the Xenomorph, the Hidden Pursuit. This power basically where whenever you start a game with the Xenomorph, it will have a series of tunnels available throughout the map underground, and it will be accessed via control stations throughout the map. Each will be close by a nearby generator. You can then, as the Xenomorph, enter these tunnels to quickly move around the map, and it will help you detect the presence of nearby survivors, because you'll see their footsteps using special little orange-like dot-like indications that will appear above, and also knowing that it speeds up the cooldown of one of your special abilities called Runner Mode. You can also exit out the control station, and it will actually tag nearby survivors with Killer Instinct. is, as you can guess, basically like the Xenomorph, because it does also hide around through ventilations and stuff like that. This allows you to really feel that way and get around very easily and find out where they are and sneak up on survivors and tag them, of course, so you know where they are, of course. And not only that, though, also increase some of your special abilities as well, and just be able to just sneak up on survivors completely very much. They also come with 3 special importance: a map feature, which is, of course, the control stations, like I mentioned. There are about 7 throughout the map, and survivors can interact with these to also summon a remote flame turret, which we'll get into very soon. But obviously, as you can guess, the control stations are used with the Xenomorph to get in the tunnels and out of it to basically sneak up on them and get around the map very easily. So it's a pretty good, intense one right there. But the first one I'll mention, obviously, is its special ability, very much runner mode. Runner mode is a special ability that makes it where anytime the Xenomorph enters this mode, they will automatically turn onto it when non-cooldown, and it will basically make them walk on 4 legs and become stealthier. It will reduce the terror radius, and while in runner mode, they can have a second attack called a brutal tail attack. This attack, I will say, is honestly, as you can probably guess, brutal. And honestly, it is, because this ability basically makes you have a second attack. You have your normal typical basic attack, which is like a light little slash attack with your claws, but this brutal tail attack can really do some serious shit if you really work out very well with it. This has a very nasty range, which means you could basically reach pretty far, or if you time it right on people still at a good range. But not only what makes it insane is not just the range, but it's actually because of how you can get people very easily no matter what. Because what I mean is that I have seen this already so far, and even got experience with it on my own playing against the Xenomorph, and this thing can get you even through pallets and vaults. I'm not joking. You will literally attack someone literally even after they complete a vault, and it will get right through very much range. And even if they get past a pallet and drop it, they can still get hit right past it. The tail will literally go right through and over the pallet and will actually still stab the survivor from a distance, basically taking them out very easily right there. This attack is basically a way to kind of anti-stop people from really getting those vaults and pallets very easily, and you can still take them out. This basically makes it very challenging for the survivors for a lot of chase stuff like that. I don't know how it's going to be as we get through over time, and there might be some moments where we'll finally get used to it. I need to practice myself, but that insane brutal tail attack, I'm very concerned for very much. But either way, definitely pretty cool. I really like the uniqueness out of that runner mode right there, and I love the idea of just that tail attack. I know how pretty signature that tail is for the Xenomorph, so that's pretty cool indeed. Now, for obviously to go against the Xenomorph, you would need something to counteract it, and that is, of course, what the turrets are going to be for. Remote flame turrets for the survivors to use, because obviously the Xenomorph hates fire. So whenever you go nearby, as a survivor, go near a control station, you can go open it up and reveal a remote flame turret. When you obviously open it up, you can then pull it out and place it anywhere you want if it's not being blocked by any certain of the radius, and it will stay there for you the duration. It will spin around at like a 180 basically until the Xenomorph comes by, and if the Xenomorph gets close within its radius, it will cause the turret to fire some flames at it, and if he gets caught with it too long, he will get kicked out of runner mode completely as a whole. So basically, it's a way to counter that runner mode so that they can't be too stealthy and can't use that tail attack. So there's a really good thing out of that very much, obviously, so you want to make sure you definitely use it. However, there are some things that do counter it for the Xenomorph as well. Obviously, when the Xenomorph enters the radius and line of sight of the turret, besides that, it will cause their attacks to be staggered, and will cause runner mode to end. But if the turret successfully knocks the Xenomorph out of runner mode or fires for too long, it will eventually overheat, and it must be repaired by the survivor. However, though, the Xenomorph can also attack turrets to completely destroy them, and then you will have to get a brand new one. So there is some, of course, cons that will go against that attack as a whole. So don't expect that to be invincible completely against the Xenomorph. It will still find a way to be shut down by the Xenomorph as a whole. So be very careful. Overall, I love its power very much, and I love the uniqueness that comes out for not only just as playing as him, but also what can be used against him. I love the remote flame turrets because obviously flamethrowers and other related fire is pretty much its weakness. So obviously, as we see in the movies, or if you play games like Alien Isolation, you probably know and see what I'm talking about. But this is honestly pretty neat, though, the fact that we're getting something like that for survivors. So I love it, and I like the ideas of what goes on with the killer's power because it really fits the Xenomorph as a whole. They're very stealth-based like killers, basically. So they obviously need to be stealthing themselves around somewhere. So the special tunnels through the control stations is amazing for that. And not only that, though, using that tail attack is even more insane as well. So I love it. It is honestly really, really perfect. I love it. It's good. So I am definitely looking forward to playing more of this and kind of getting used to this power and figure out more common kind of ways to use it against survivors. So pretty cool right there. Let me know your guys' thoughts about that. And now to the perks, obviously. He comes with 3 perks, obviously. Can't forget about that. First perk, Ultimate Weapon. When you open a locker, this perk activates for 30 seconds. Survivors that enter your terror radius when that happens will scream and reveal their position into you, and they gain blindness for 30 seconds. This perk then goes on cooldown for about 40, 35 to the final tier of 30 seconds. This perk, I'd say, is not a bad idea very much. I probably would say this, I wouldn't probably use this on the Xenomorph. I'd probably use this with, like, the Dredge, the Trickster, and the Huntress, because they all rely on lockers on their powers, so that very easily more. But this is still pretty cool to have right here, or to get for sure. And it's not a bad idea. I mean, think about it. You open a locker, and it reveals that very much. And not only that, though, if you hook some survivor literally with that, you could literally at the time just quickly use that to open a locker after you hook someone and see if you can spot anyone who might be out there ready to try to save them. And you can reveal them and catch them off guard, and they will have to be moving before they get caught very much. So it's a very nice way to kind of scare them a bit. Now, obviously, it's only 30 seconds of a cooldown afterwards, so it's not going to be very easy just to simply expect you to use it and then get it back very quickly. It will go on cooldown. But it's a very short cooldown, so it's not that terrible. But at least it's still balanced out so that people don't go just spamming the hell out of lockers and just getting easy spotting of screams and reveal positions of survivors. And they also gain blindness, so that means survivors' aura perks will pretty much become devalued if they get in that situation right now. So you got to be very careful. Either way, really awesome perk, I would say. Definitely good. I would say probably with Trickster, Huntress, and the Dredge. But overall, not bad perk. Rapid Brutality is next, and this makes it where you no longer gain blood loss. But if you hit a survivor with a basic attack, you will be given a 5% haste stats effect for 8-9 to the final tier of 10 seconds. This perk I'm a little bit mixed about, I would say. Well, this perk obviously completely gets rid of blood loss, which blood loss, as you know, you get when you continue chasing, and as long as you don't hit before you hit a survivor, or you don't damage the pallet before you damage the pallet, you can build up your blood loss. That will go up to level 3, and it basically speeds you up for a certain amount of time until eventually you, of course, like I say, hit a survivor or destroy a pallet, and you eventually get, obviously, or lose yourself out of chase, and then you eventually lose the blood loss. This completely eradicates that, so you have no blood loss whatsoever. But you get a 5% haste stats effect for 10 seconds at the max if you, of course, hit a survivor. I'm not so sure how I feel about this perk just yet. I mean, I could imagine if you combine it with other speed perks that can be useful, that can help you out a lot, but I'm not so completely sure if this will be a really great perk in my opinion. And finally, Alien Instinct, which this perk activates when you hook a survivor, and if you see the aura, where if you once you hook a survivor, you see the aura of the farthest injured survivor for 5 seconds, and then that survivor becomes oblivious for 16-18 to the final tier of 20 seconds. So it's a nice way to kind of find someone next in target who's still injured and farther away from you, but also find a way to sneak up on them very easily. I mean, this perk, I say, is pretty not bad, I would say. I mean, I don't know if anyone will probably use this much, because again, only if you see the farthest injured survivor, and there's only like one you'll probably see, and after that, they just become oblivious, but it's only 20 seconds, so again, you have to be over there as quick as possible after hooking the survivor to get a chance to do so. So there is some little things I kind of am a little mixed about what I could say that could be useful with this, I would say. I mean, there could be some good ideas with it. I might need to practice a little more. Let me know what you guys think about it, but it's definitely a really not bad perk, I would say. I don't know if I would say it's going to be really fantastic, but I mean, I don't think it's that terrible. I think it could be a good idea with certain other perks once you kind of experiment a little bit. I'm going to definitely be experimenting with this for sure, so I can't wait to find out exactly what it is. But yeah, definitely looking forward to see what I think about this perk if I try out some more builds. Overall, definitely I would say very much everything about this PTB has been fantastic. I love the map. Ripley has some pretty good perks. I guess Lucky Star is my #1 favorite, and I do love Ripley's look in general, despite the fact, obviously, with Weaver's look, not really that resembles as much, obviously, for her reasons, but obviously, I still love the look of her very much, but her perks, really good. Again, Lucky Star, my #1 favorite, and the Xenomorph looks just badass as hell. Obviously, Xenomorph, fantastic by the developers right there. I love its power right there, and their perks are pretty not bad, too. I'd probably say my most favorite perk is probably maybe the ultimate weapon, because I think I like the idea about this because it could really help out with that whenever you're dealing with other survivors coming by to try to unhook them, obviously, so this could really come in handy very much, but I would probably use this mostly away from the Xenomorph and just use it like again on Huntress, Trickster, or obviously the Dredge, but again, that's probably my #1 favorite perk from him so far. So that's basically everything so far about the PTB, and again, this is only just a public test build, so things are going to be changing over time by the time the actual chapter releases, so who knows. Gotta stay tuned for that, but only time will tell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, your thoughts on it, and I would appreciate it very much if you definitely, of course, again, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to show your support to the Pizza Party, and definitely look forward to this very much for sure. And remember, guys, if you want to read the patch notes fully to this extent, I will put the link of it in the description below. And guys, remember, this is the PTB, so if you want to go get this a try before it's gone, then make sure you have the game on PC. It's only available for PC players, so just remember that. It's not available for console, unfortunately. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. I had a great time with it. Really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. And I'm definitely excited for the Alien chapter. I cannot wait. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your host, Game Pizza Boy, host of the Pizza Party, and I will talk to you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends, and keep on partying.